Welcome back to the Sydney Football Stadium. The mob are ready for this game. It's just a few minutes away before the players step out onto the arena. A terrific crowd considering the ordinary weather in the last few hours. We've had a few heavy showers over the Sydney Football Stadium, but it has been a sellout for the last couple of weeks. So those who've got the tickets have made sure they've turned up. There's a few others, I guess, who've gone home to watch in the comfort of their lounge room. And there we see the great wave going around this magnificent stadium. Sterlo, it's got a terrific atmosphere, this stadium, hasn't it?
Yes, it doesn't obviously have the tradition of a Lang Park or a Sydney cricket ground, but we are a couple of years down the track now. We're getting the good crowds here. We see the crowd really getting involved in the festivities, and I'm sure that will spill over into the game, and they'll give great support to this Blues side.
I don't know that they feel the same passion as the Queenslanders do. I hope they do tonight, because the Blues need them.
Well, it does make a difference to support, and I suppose that is borne out by the extent of the success of the Queensland side at Lang Park. Maybe down here we're a little bit used to winning. That should change, I suppose, because we haven't been as successful as we would have liked over the last few years. But of course, for many, many years, New South Wales were far superior to the Queensland side. Maybe we've got a little bit blasé.
The pitch out there, it's a fairly good pitch too. I mean, it hasn't been that affected by this wet weather.
No, we've had two junior representative fixtures played. I did watch both of those games, and the guys didn't seem to have any problems with the conditions. The ball handling was very good. So, I don't expect that to be too much of a problem out there tonight. If we see mistakes, it'll either be from pressure or from, just from the guys making a simple error.
Yeah, well, they are ready. The Blues aren't too far away from coming down that tunnel. You heard the crowd there yelling out Blues, Blues, Blues just a few moments ago. It's countdown time. It's the moment when this New South Wales side really have their mettle tested, because they need to square this series to take it to Lang Park and make it into a decider. And there's a lot of pressure on the selectors. There's a lot of pressure on a couple of players that have surprised the critics in as far as their inclusion in this team. And I guess it's nice to see Michael O'Connor in his rightful position, Peter.
Well, he's had a great season so far with the Manly club in the centre position. I thought that his opportunities were very limited in the first game. Back in the centre position, he'll be able to get involvement, and here come the guys now.
Here come the guys, and here comes Darryl Eastlake.
Kenny will outcome the Blues, and have a listen to this crowd right behind them. We've had two lousy days of weather. We've had rain right up to this match tonight, but they've turned out in their thousands. Benny Elias leads out the Blues, and there's no run, there's no fuss, there's a slow jog and a walk. O'Connor, Roberts, so important for him, and Roach. John's a man with a cloud over him today, but he's there. Gillespie will have to do a good job tonight. Cliffy Lyons. So the Tooheys Blues are out in front of their home ground, trailing by one match. And remember, only one side has come back and won the series after losing the first game. That's Queensland in 1987. Ricky Stewart, will he run tonight? Well, Ray Warren, a fantastic atmosphere here now. Considering the weather we've had, it's a heavy ground, but gee, everybody's pumped up, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are, Darryl, no question about that. Ian Roberts, who was one of our better performers at Lang Park when we went down just a fortnight ago, 6 points to 4. Rod Wishart, the 22-year-old from the Illawarra Steelers, what a night for him. Michael O'Connor and Andrew Eddinghausen. Just waiting for the Maroons to come down the tunnel now. Andrew with the number 1 on his back tonight. Big night for Rod Wishart. He played State of Origin in 1990. But he's back tonight in the number 5, and I'll be shocked if he hasn't got the goal-kicking duties.
Mark Geyer, expect a lot from here. Here he comes, not to Lang Park, not the Emperor of Lang Park, but Wally Lewis. Listen to the boos when he hits this ground. Won't faze the Emperor, let me tell you. Wally the King, just that'll motivate him if anything. But look at them, there's G the defender, Jackson. Wallace the hooker. Yeah, Mark Murray, of course, so successful. Now the coast of Eastern Suburbs in the grey jacket. Mark Murray played 15 Origin games. Don't be surprised to see Paul Vaughton there as well on the bench. And the Queensland management have decided to sit on the sideline of the ground, not high in the stand. So Wally Lewis comes out. Larson, fantastic performance from him in game 1, his debut game. He certainly, in many eyes, was the man of the match. Alan Langer, well, he's the man with a bag full of tricks, right?
Yes, Gary Larson there on camera in 13. What a marvellous game he had at Lang Park. Mal Meninga, the try scorer, and Martin Bella, who led the way for Queensland, the only international in their pack of forwards, and he kept making that impression over the advantage line and cracking that New South Wales forward defence.
Players getting set for the huddles now. Will stand by for the national anthem. The sung this night by the cast members of Jerry's Girls. And the girls in their period costume from the show, there they are, and they'll be singing the national anthem as we prepare for one hell of a game of football. Queensland, New South Wales. Well, Queensland 19 wins to New South Wales 12. But at the Sydney Football Stadium, Queensland 3 to New South Wales 1. Surprising stat, that one, Peter Sterling?
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising, but Queensland certainly have played well down here, and they'll be looking to extend that record that they do hold over the Blues. I did think we won the singing stakes there, so maybe that'll be a sign of things to come later on.
David Manson, the 36-year-old district manager for Coles and Fossies, fourth Origin match, the third at the Sydney Football Stadium. He's in charge tonight. Underway, game 2 of this 3-match series. The Dewey's Blues down 1, need to come back. Bradley Klein takes the first hit, and there's plenty going in from Mike McLean. Benny Elias, up they come again, belted down. Gaia plays it back to Elias. Roach, so the big men already, Peter, are starting to run forward and straight and hard.
Yeah, that's a great start. That's exactly what Tim Sheeds will have wanted. We'll see a kick very, very shortly. Should get his good field position, but a nice solid start by the New South Wales team.
This wet weather ground, who does it favour?
Well, it favours the team that will control possession, that can get a good kicking game going, and that is prepared to work for 80 minutes.
Paul Hoff reached the turf in a big way, and he had a magnificent game in game 1 until he went off injured in a loose ball. Daly's on it. So the Blues now inside the Queensland half, midway between the half of the 22. Getting set, Elias calling the play. Up they come, Gillespie. Loose ball, we'll see what's happened. Penalty, New South Wales. Well, a welcome penalty too, let me tell you, because it's in a great spot, Pete.
Yes, it is. First point-scoring opportunity for the Blues here. Gillespie trying to get up and play the ball. I don't know if there was a Queensland hand in there or it was just a mistake on Gillespie's part. Whatever happened, we've got a chance for 2 points here, and we see Michael O'Connor stepping up to take the kick. Interesting, too, that O'Connor and Wishart had a kicking duel here the other day, but Coach Sheens decided to go with O'Connor just purely on experience. Well, that's one thing, but I do believe that O'Connor probably is the more proficient goal kicker, and that's no disrespect to Rod Wishart whatsoever. Of course, O'Connor hasn't had a lot of kicking with Matthew Ridge in his club side, but it's a nice situation to be in with Wishart coming in if O'Connor fails. Michael O'Connor has the most appearances for a New South Wales side in 18. Rod Wishart, incidentally, has kicked 27 goals for his club Illawarra this year. O'Connor comes in now. There it goes. And a wasted opportunity there, Peter. Well, I don't know about wasted. It was a good start by the New South Wales side. We did work away from our line well. A good kick, a mistake from Queensland, and that'll be a confidence-boosting start for the Blues.
So the restart from the 22. Nice, long, deep kick too. Comes back for Eddinghausen. And his step will be a bit nullified on this slippery surface, but the ground, well, it's not too bad. I had a walk around it. Considering the amount of rain, it's drained pretty well, Peter.
Yes, it has, and we'll see a fair bit of ball movement tonight. As I said earlier, there were a couple of junior rep games. For example, Eddinghausen's taken out of the play. This should be a penalty to New South Wales. No, it's play on from Manson.
So Manson says play on. Hoffa's got the ball. Touch judge is in. And it's got to be about that incident.
Gary Larson, the player called up, been spoken to, and it will be a penalty to New South Wales.
So Larson gets a caution. Here's the incident coming up. Eddinghausen is there, and bang, there's the bit of push and shove. So New South Wales again can maintain this pressure. Another kick from O'Connor.
Yes, and that must have been a line ball decision for the New South Wales captain Ben Elias as to whether to maybe kick for touch and maintain the pressure, or to have a long-range shot. If O'Connor can put this over, it would be a nice start, 2 points to nil. But I thought they may have tried to maintain pressure and open the Queensland side up early.
So O'Connor around the corner style kicker. Not an easy angle here. It's around about 7 or 8 metres in and about 26 metres out. Gets nice height, nice distance. This time though, okay. So New South Wales lead Queensland 2-0. Michael O'Connor, 1 from 2. A good positive start for the Blues here tonight. This crowd really revved up.
Well, that certainly makes that decision the right one. A good start from O'Connor. He struck the first one well. He made no mistake with the second one. And we have a 2-0 scoreline, which, of course, was the half-time score in our first match at Lang Park.
Exactly, Peter. So Meninga now keeps the ball down low, hoping in the greasy conditions that he will get a mistake, but it doesn't happen. Handled pretty well. Wishart goes to dummy half. Goes for a gallop there. Too much defence, though. 1, 2, 3 defenders banging down. Elias now calling for the ball. Gets it on to Roach. Roach wrapped up midway between the quarter and the half. The Blues into the ground. Look at Guy just rampaging through Queensland, brushing them aside. This is better stuff from Guy tonight, Peter.
Yes, it is, and it's better from the New South Wales pack in general. Steve Roach's involvement early on has been great. A good kicking game. We see a great chase here. Hoff with 3 players in front of him. This is nice play from New South Wales.
Defence fantastic from New South Wales. They're up on the Maroons straight away tonight. This man, Willie Kahn, gets very, very involved. He'll go in looking for the ball all night. Now it goes to Larson. Larson goes up. They crash tackling down to the turf here at the Sydney Football Stadium. They're the Blues with a bit of mongrel tonight, I'll tell you. Plenty of defence coming in. Down they go again. Gang tackling 1, 2 and 3 every time. Back it comes for Langer. Langer skirts it out to Lewis. Lewis kicks deep. Eddinghausen's got to go back for it. About 4 metres out, he takes it from the line and brings it back. You can see the way he's gingerly winding up because this ground is pretty slippery. But as I've said, considering the water we've had, Ray Warren, it's in pretty good nick.
Yes, it takes plenty of moisture, the Sydney Football Stadium. And happy memories from the last match played here between the Blues and the Maroons, with New South Wales taking the points that night, 8 points to nil. 2 points to nil tonight in the early stages of State of Origin 2, 1991. Gillespie plays the ball back to Elias. He cuts out a man and finds Roach, and Roach reaches the 32-metre line. Elias now back for the early kick. Stewart drops it onto the right boot, but it's gone out on the full. So that's a mistake by New South Wales. Referee Manson ruling the turnover. So Langer takes it just outside the New South Wales quarter-way line.
Really Queensland's first opportunity to put some pressure on New South Wales. A great chase there. I think it was Andrew G getting out of the marker position to put pressure on Ricky Stewart's kick.
Walters now. 15 away from the line. Langer goes from dummy half. He's pulled down by Elias. That's their second. Away now for Larson. Wide ball for Lewis. Out to Meninga. Over the 22. He broke the tackle of Lyons. Still going. This man Mountain inside the Jackson, on the ground for Lewis now. Lewis swarmed on by the New South Wales defence. New South Wales are light on numbers on the left. McLean. Grassing tackle by Clyde down below. Geyer over the top. They come back to the right now. Little kick by Langer. Going into the in goal. Wishart was in two minds. But it's a penalty to New South Wales. Offside against Queensland.
Yes, the referee has ruled that Willie Kahn got within the 10 metres of Rod Wishart, who let the ball bounce, got to be into a dangerous situation. Langer got the ball away off the boot. Yes, he was in front, and a good decision there by the Queensland referee.
So Andrew Eddinghausen takes the line finder close to the touchline. They take the free kick on their own 22 line. They're outside the red zone, which has become a popular expression. Played back for Elias, scampers out from dummy half a few paces. Gillespie to play it now. This is Roberts. Did a tremendous amount of defensive work at Lang Park. Roach with some steam up. Almost to the halfway mark. Good run by blocker Roach. Elias again. Onto the boot for Ricky Stewart. Not a bad looking kick down into the corner. It's going to find it. Oh, great kick by Stewart. Shades of the grand final.
Yeah, super kick there from Ricky Stewart. Had a little bit of pressure coming through in that time, but he couldn't have planned that one any better. Found touch 2 metres out. It will be a Queensland feed. Hopefully New South Wales can maybe get one against the feed here with a push, but we would expect a Queensland ball.
Langer to work the scrum, 10 metres away from the Queensland line. Kahn tries to take it out. Thumped to the ground by Eddinghausen. Larson, a wide forward in the shape of Andrew G, and again the Blues. They come up to the advantage line and backslam him. Roach was one, Roberts the other. Andrew G not very well. Bella gets some treatment as well. Jackson over the 22. Good metres by Queensland. But hasn't this New South Wales defence got some bite in it? Queensland a penalty, New South Wales inside the 5.
Well, that's great stuff from the New South Wales defence. Pity that we had to spoil it with a penalty there. We were on a little bit of a roll. But whatever you think about this Queensland side, you have to take your hat off to them. Very attractive team to watch. They certainly like to throw the ball around. Kick finds touch inside the New South Wales half now.
Steve Walters taking the free. Line kick was taken by Peter Jackson. Bella did well. A gain of 5 metres. Jackson now stepping back inside, looking for an opening behind to play the ball. To the right for Langer, comes across the park, picks up Lewis, straight onto Meninga. Flick pass inside for Hoff, tackled by Lyons and Stewart. Midway 22 halfway, New South Wales into the ground with the Blues leading 2-0. This is Kahn. Walters now, scurries away from dummy half. 5th tackle now. Langer's the player to watch, here he is. Sweeps the pass away for Peter Jackson. Back inside for Willie Kahn. Around for Langer. He goes to the air now. Pressure this time for Andrew Eddinghausen. Takes it on the full. 22 place kick to restart. Not a real good chase on the bomb from Langer. Eddinghausen had a mile of time.
New South Wales looking for a quick restart there for the 25 metres. Manson pulled it up. Certainly, they look very keen, the New South Wales side, and that's a good sign.
Roberts is not well. He's gone to the ground after playing the ball. Clyde now on the 32-metre line. Roach is looking for work. Probably inspired by the criticism levelled at the big fellow after State of Origin 1. Gillespie, handoff for Elias. On now, and this is Michael O'Connor. The ball goes to ground backwards. Elias now, taken by Larson. Daly, Stewart, long ball. Clyde out wide on the halfway. Langer takes him to ground. Wishart is the acting half. Roberts, as I said, not well. Stewart. That kick going down to the corner again for Kahn.
Well, he can't. Steps it out. Well, bad luck for Roberts. Let's hope he can get back on his feet. Ray Warren, I couldn't believe when they were down here in the Queensland 22, the defence, and they were patting each other on the backs, and you could say, get up and come at us again. I mean, it's ferocious defence from the Blues.
Yes, it's an inspired start, but don't forget we started all right at Lang Park as well.
I haven't forgotten that.
Exactly right, and Queensland haven't started that poorly either. They are only 2-0 behind on the scoreboard, haven't had much football to start this game, so they'll just settle into their game plan now, weather this early storm.
Gillespie on a big hit with Jackson, comes back to Lewis. Lewis with a little stab kick, just goes over, will be taken easily by New South Wales. Stewart now, Stewart with a darling, jinking little run. Taken though by Walters round the legs, and Walters over the top. Now Guyer throws it up, and the big man makes a break and gets inside the 22. No, he's not. He's about 32 metres out. Well, some big hits from both sides at the moment, and some little half breaks too, Peter Sterling.
Yes, it's the defence is ferocious. A very poor mistake there from Cliffy Lyons in the dummy half, and that spoils a good build-up. But we have seen some half breaks from both sides. As I said, the conditions aren't affecting the style of play that they're playing. They're moving the ball around. It looks like being a very attractive game.
Okay, scrum feed win to Queensland. Hoff with the ball now. Plays it back for Langer. Up they come. This is Hancock dancing, darting run. Geez, hard to tackle this fellow. He'll dance out of one. Doesn't always run straight, but by geez, hard to get the first time down. Up they come. He had a real big hit on Roach earlier and he looked pretty groggy, but he's okay now. Bella goes forward again. Had a magnificent game in game one. Really took it to New South Wales, but they're onto him tonight, wrapping him up. Fifth tackle coming up for the Queensland side. Langer clears it out for Lewis. Lewis boots it downfield, and will it find the line? No, it doesn't. So Wishart has the chance to run it. Runs across field, taken to in a big tackle. McLean was in there also with G. Bradley Clyde hard and straight, but again they're on him. Too much defence, like a red wall there. Eddinghausen gets it out for Daly. Daly, explosive player. If he sees half a gap, he'll be there. Gillespie takes the tackle. Midway between the quarter to the halfway line. Blues into the ground. Back it goes for the clearer from Stewart. Drives it down, tries to split the players, but Hoff will get it. Well, he says play on. Peter?
Well, we see a great break here from Paul Hoff. I think that was a good decision. I thought the ball went backwards.
So Hoff will play it back for Meninga. Hancock. Hancock taken just over the halfway line, just inside the Blues territory. That's the halfway line you can see as Larson goes forward. Gets over by a couple of metres. Down he goes. Comes out for McLean now. McLean. He's taken by Guyer. Back for Walters. Out for Langer. On to Jackson. They're getting confused here. Meninga ran into him. Jackson gets the ball back again. He's got to stop and start and try and go. Bit messy that. Langer, Lewis. Lewis drives it down, looks for the line. Eddinghausen has it covered, juggles it and takes it well. Couple of metres out. Tries to get the step going, but they take him midfield right in front of the post.
No doubt we've seen a change in, certainly a reverse in the way the teams have started this game. In game one, New South Wales looked to go wide before going forward. Very noticeable. Queensland are the team that are looking to get the ball wide. New South Wales opted to go up the middle.
Elias for Roach. For Roach winding up. Roach tried to get it away, but slugged to the ground by Jackson. Benny Elias, darting run, as we know he only does too well from dummy half. He creeps at 4 or 5. It goes to Cliffy Lyons. He's deciding to kick. So New South Wales with plenty of options to kick. Lyons following it through. Hancock gets over on top. Hancock and stumbling with the straight into Guyer. Oh, what talk about a blue wall. Bang. Oh, what's this? Hancock wound up. He had the stumbles and went straight into Guyer. Play's just backing down for the scrum. Hancock's down. Well, crunching stop for Hancock, but Lions now. Blues back in possession. Eddinghausen with a little bit of room to move. Gets it on, they put it down again. Well, the ball's got to be slippery. Got to be slippery.
Yeah.
Scrum to pack, Langer. Gets it for Lewis. Lewis just goes ahead 2 or 3. Watch for Larson out wide too. He's been doubling around Lewis. New South Wales this time caught inside. A little bit of push and shove with Stewart going on, but the penalty goes Queensland's way. And Jackson will take the kick. Well, Gavin Miller on the sideline. I cannot believe the sting and the bite that's in the Blues' defence.
Well, that's right, Ray. They've certainly turned it about in a matter of 2 weeks. They've created enough opportunities and took the right options, Ray, and they've turned it into points. The only thing that's laying the foundation for this is their solid defence. If they can maintain this defence throughout the full 80 minutes, I think they'll win.
Bagger Gavin on the sideline. Bobby Lynn, the commentary, him a little later on as well. This is Hoff now. Winds up the big tall man. 18 minutes gone. Score 2-0. The Blues' way. Lewis unloads to G. G goes forward, looks to unload, lobs a pass back. Jackson can't hold it. Now he comes back and gets it. "32 metres out, dead set in front of the post now. Langer gets it to Jackson. Jackson turns it back inside for little Alfie. Langer too. He makes a break, chips the ball, bouncing away it goes, and they just clear it over the dead ball line. Well, Langer's dangerous like that.
Well, you can never underestimate this Queensland side. They have looked to have been a little bit dominated up front at the beginning of this match. We see Peter Jackson turn a good ball back inside to Alan Langer. He found a little bit of open space, put the kick through more for support in Mal Meninga. But we did have enough speed in Ricky Stewart and Rod Wishart covering. But don't write off this Queensland side. They'll weather this storm.
19 minutes gone. New South Wales leading by 2 points to 0. But Queensland will come back on a fresh set of 6 from this line dropout. The kick from Stewart. Reaching the halfway mark. Langer now to take it back. Capacity crowd at the Sydney Football Stadium watching Willie Kahn now. 3 metres into New South Wales area. Dummy half is Walters. Hoff is up as first receiver. Puts a gap in them too. Over the 32-metre line. Hoff to play it now. Second tackle on this set of 6. This is Jackson. Stands and gets it to Larson. Wide to McLean. A fend on Daly. He goes inside the corner. Throws it back to Cliffy Lyons. The line was open. Queensland starting to find gaps in the New South Wales side.
An ominous sign there for the Blues, and exactly the same time as in game 1 that the tide started to turn, the 20-minute mark.
Clyde. Play the balls not as quick as they were early, that's natural, but they were certainly getting up and playing it very quickly and keeping a roll on. Roach inspiring the other forwards with his early performance in this game tonight. Elias, he took the option, plugs it down between fullback and winger as the rain starts to tumble down again. Hoff taken by Daly. 12 metres Queensland side of the halfway. Hancock is okay again. Bumps off one, taken in a second, taken by Elias. Walters, Bella straightens it. Handling errors, 3 apiece. Walters now to the halfway, takes the tackle, feeds it back for McLean. Grassing tackle by Clyde. Larson, Langer for Lewis. Jackson, back for Lewis. Loses his footing, gets the pass away to Langer, then to Meninga, on to Kahn, but it's been well forward.
Yeah,
Scrum to go down.
A line ball decision there against the Queensland side, but some superb play here. Alan Langer got the ball back from Wally Lewis. Quick pass from Mal Meninga to Willie Kahn. I've seen worse ones let go.
Scrum going down just on the New South Wales side of halfway. Won by the Blues. Folding around from the blind wing is Rod Wishart. Tackled by Larson, breaking from the scrum quickly. Lyons. Clyde. 42 tackles to Queensland, 41 New South Wales. Rain absolutely pelting down now. Oh, Dyer was going into touch. He flicked the ball out the back. Queensland come up with possession, played by Khan. This is Andrew G. Getting through that first tackle now. Quite often are the Queenslanders. Larson to play it. Held down in the tackle. Walters for Langer. Wide ball for Lewis. Lewis decides it's time to go. Jackson makes about 5 or 6 metres. Tackled 40 metres away from the Blues line. Langer out from dummy half. That's G. Now it's Meninga piling on the power. This is Khan. He loses the ball. Dived on there by New South Wales. Michael O'Connor plays it. Ettinghausen. Well, the football stadium has come under plenty of criticism for its inability to guard the fans from the rain. It's certainly being put to the test tonight. 17 minutes of the first half to go. New South Wales leading 2 points to 0. Played by Clyde. This is Stewart now. Lollying around inside the 22. Khan takes it away. Met by Lyons and Wisher. Back on the Queensland quarter. Langer. Hoff puts a big step in. Again, he looks impressive, Hoff. Every time he handles, he makes good ground.
Certainly
McLean.
not the same sting in the New South Wales defence now. Starting to miss a couple of those first-up tackles, and Paul Hoff coming into the behind the ruck area, starting to look very dangerous.
Jackson drops it onto the right foot. Ettinghausen going back towards his own line. Ettinghausen tackled on the 22, not held. He is now. Well, this rain has certainly picked up in the last few minutes. Bobby Linden, does that help the Maroons at all?
Well, Ray, it's really pouring down here, but what I think you'll notice is that Queensland will tighten their play up, obviously, and you'll see a lot more involvement from Hoff, the two wingers, Hancock and Willie Kahn, and Peter Jackson in close around the ruck areas. I think they'll come in, tighten the game up, take a bit of pressure off the forwards, because that's where the game's got to be played in this sort of weather.
Thank you, Bobby Linder, as Hoff brings it back. Well, Peter Sterling, this takes me back to 1984 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Atrocious conditions, a night very, very much like this.
Yes, it was, and if my memory serves me correctly, Queensland were able to win that one courtesy of a great catch from Greg Dowling underneath the sticks there. It may well come down to that kind of situation again, a touch of brilliance or something resulting from a kick. I think the kick is going to be very important in these next 55 minutes.
Yeah, certainly a great take, came off the crossbar, and he took it and scored. This is Jackson now. Jackson working his way, centre field. Still the red side of halfway. Now they're into the Blues territory. Fumbling ball, though, can't be held. Swooped on by Larson, but the referee will call it back. Larson did his best to dive on it, but this scrum will pack down. Scrum's going in well. Queensland at 315 kilograms, New South Wales at 281 kilograms. The front rows are both packed, so there's plenty of muscle. In the game they call grunt football, Origin. Roberts. Injured earlier, seems to be okay, but we never know with Roberts. He seems to carry so much pain, but I think he's just oblivious to it. Elias looks for the runners. Guy, hard and straight tonight. Elias, a little dummy, gets 4 or 5, flicks it back, comes to Lyons. Twice Lyons has put it down. Pretty difficult ball, though. Jackson took it for Queensland.
Well, both teams now starting to become a little bit guilty of spoiling some good work with a mistake at the end of it. Really, you've just got to play good possession in this kind of weather. And some great defence there again from David Gillespie. The team that controls possession best will win this football game, and they have to start doing that. We see the errors here. Queensland gone to the front there, 6-5 over New South Wales.
So it's nice and tight. The Blues still leading 2 points to 0. G. Working their way toward the halfway line. The Queensland side driving rain. Unbelievable conditions here, and as Ray Warren said, certainly testing the mettle of the spectators. Ettinghausen got some support, but takes the tackle. Larson again doing a lot of work with Langer. Comes back for Daly. Daly with another little break too, but he's dragged down right on the halfway line. Good bustling run though from Daly. Elias goes from there, clears it out for Stewart. Stewart gets inside. Here's a try for the Blues now. I think he gets him support. Back in the place. This is try time. Try time for the Blues, and Chris Johns goes over, and the crowd doesn't care about the water. Oh boy, what a good move. Stewart gapped them. Well, that was sensational stuff. It started with Daly with a jinking run. Elias made some ground. Got it back and away they went. Look at this, Queensland a little shell shock tonight. Cooling down pretty quickly with this heavy rain. Oh boy, that was some good football. Daly with a little limper. Let's hope that's all right. Let's have a look at this, because this is where Elias did the dart, gave it to Stewart. Stewart with a little look outside, turned it back inside. Back they come, and look where Johns came from. Beautiful bit of football. Too quick. Bang over. 4 points, New South Wales.
Well, that's what a lot of people have called for, Ricky Stewart to run the football. We see Benny Elias getting out quickly from dummy half. Stewart through half the dummy, beat Andrew G, had the pace. Martin Bella coming across in cover, obviously didn't have the speed. Positioned Chris Johns beautifully on the inside, and he was able to beat a sparing dive from Peter Jackson.
There we go, Wally Lewis laying the law down, and you can see the steam coming off the players with this amazing rain just belting down. O'Connor lining it up, 1 from 2 tonight. Looking to widen the gap, yes sir! So New South Wales now 8 points to 0.
Welcome back to the Sydney Football Stadium. Around Australia and to overseas countries, you're watching the second state of origin, with New South Wales leading by 8 points to 0. A sensational try set up by Laurie Daly and Benny Elias. And then it was up to Ricky Stewart to crack Queensland before some tremendous wing football by Chris Johns to go in and plant it over. Scrum in front of the New South Wales uprights, won by Queensland. Langer and Lewis work the cross. They run the angle. Lewis to play it now. 5 metres out from the line. Queensland have got a replacement on there. Coyne is on. It's gone across to Jackson. Now they work an angle with Meninga. It's come back now. And it's Walters who's going to play it right in front of the uprights. 10 metres out now. Back for Langer. Conditions absolutely atrocious. Quickly across the line to Huff. Huff looks around, finds Khan! That's a try! Queensland, they've struck back. Willie Khan has scored. That's his first try in State of Origin football. But the big fullback, Paul Huff, take a bow, big fellow. Tremendous performance, not only here, but in State of Origin 1. He was looking down the barrel of man of the match that night. I'm still not so sure that he wasn't. A nice piece of work by Jackson, a la Michael Cronin. Hoff got inside, and between, and stood, and Willie Khan has come from the right wing to score. Queensland have struck back.
They have struck back, and that's been one of the great attractions of this Queensland team over the years, is after they've had some points scored against them, they do hit back very quickly. We see a good step there from Paul Hoff, finds Willie Khan coming up on the inside. The cover came across but too late, and of course that did come from a New South Wales mistake from the kickoff.
So 8 points to 4. Mal Meninga, he's over there somewhere. Thank goodness for these camera lenses. He's out there somewhere, the big fellow. 21 metres out. in favour of New South Wales. And back at the football stadium, we're on the third tackle on the first set of 6 from the restart. Jackson to play it. 8 points to 6 in favour of the Blues. Walters. Coyne has gone on in number 17. Lewis turns it inside for Bella. Gillespie's getting through a mountain of work in defence. Away from Coyne to the blind side for Lewis. Lewis kicks it to the centre of the ground. Ettinghausen runs away from Johns on his right. Taken by Langer, centre ground. 11 metres the New South Wales side of halfway. Metres gained, averaged on 6 tackles. 45 for New South Wales, 39 for the Maroons. Wishart now. Just on the New South Wales side of halfway. Stewart, Lyons, looking for the long ball. Picked up Ettinghausen. Chris Johns, the try scorer. How you going down there, Gavin? You all right?
Well, Ray, I hope you're enjoying that air-conditioned box, Ray, because it's really tough down here at the moment.
Well, that's why we chose a shark. Willie Kahn now. 10 metres his side of halfway. Lewis across for Hoff. Peter, when the coaches get them in at half-time, do you expect any dramatic changes to what they were set out with originally?
No, not really, only to tighten their games up. They've only got to consider 2 things now. That's position and possession. They have to play the ball at the other end of the field, and they have to maintain control of the football when they have it in their hands. That's all they'll be. The team that plays the best basics, they're going to come out on top in these kind of conditions.
The kicking game will become very important.
Extremely important, and of course both teams well served in that department. A couple of kickers on either side, but Queensland's still looking to run the football, and that's great to watch. Even pouring rain, they're still looking to throw the football wide.
Coyne juggles it for a couple of strides, takes a big hit from Guy, puts it in the air.
Well, he wasn't one of the kickers I was looking at in Queensland.
Lyons now. And a penalty goes to the Blues. He's ruled that Meninga was in front of the kicker, therefore he must stay outside the 10-metre circle. Maybe it was Jackson.
Yes, and there's no doubt that Mal Meninga and Steve Jackson, I think, were well in front. Had to stay away from Cliff Lyons, who was cleaning up the kick. And that really came as a result of the fact that Gary Coyne was never intending to be the kicker on that. He was forced into that, and they paid another penalty.
5 minutes of the first half remaining. 8 points to 6 in favour of New South Wales. They kick on the first. A change in tactics. The ball goes down into the corner. Kahn is back for it. Tackled by Lyons. Now Queensland can't afford to make a mistake inside their own 22. Hoff. Taken by Elias. Gillespie over the top, and he's right on the 22 line. Coyne now. Walters. Jackson. Jackson replies on an early kick, on an early tackle. Ettinghausen working overtime tonight. Comes back to reach almost the halfway mark, centre of the ground. Stewart. Stewart opting to run again, coming across the ground before stepping off the left. They're good metres. 7 or 8 of them gained. Wishart. There'll be more dummy half scoots now, I would imagine. Wishart playing it to Elias. Now it's with Stewart. Inside for Gillespie. Gillespie beats one. Lewis gets a shoulder on him. Gets the pass away. Onto O'Connor now. Jackson the tackler. Stewart plugs that ball down into the corner. A long run for Paul Hoff. Johns is coming quickly to try and peg him. Hoff's away. He's out to the 10-metre line. He's answered every call, Paul Hoff. Hancock. Gillespie lines him up, but he gets away. He's out to the quarter and beyond. Taken by Stewart. Well, the intensity in defence is certainly nowhere near what it was at the start of this game. Jackson loses the ball. Referee ruled that it was forward, so it's gone down and a knock on. Let's take a sideline comment from Gavin Miller.
Yes, Ray, Rod Wishart has gone off the field and he's been replaced by the utility player in Des Hasler.
So Hasler is off, and Shearer has also gone on, I believe, for the Queensland side. Well, Bob, just for a moment it looked as though it was going to be more than just a bleak night weather-wise, down 8 points to 0, but they came back very quickly.
Yes, they did, Ray, and that's tremendous effort from Queensland, because I felt if they hadn't responded to that try very quickly, they'd be in all sorts of trouble, because you can see here at the moment, New South Wales are just trying to peg them down in their own quarter, and that's the right way to play the game in this sort of weather.
Chance here. Gillespie puts it down. Shearer comes away with it. What's the story with Meninga, Gavin?
Well, Ray, what he's done there, Mal Meninga's packed into the second row, which is probably the first time in his career.
So it's with Bella now. So Meninga playing forwards. Here he is now, thumping it up to the halfway line. Shearer and Coyne both on for the Queenslanders. Langer now. Picks up Peter Jackson, hands it back for Langer. 10 metres into New South Wales territory. Peter Jackson, knocked over by Benny Elias. Very good marker defence from Elias, and Jackson limps away from the scene. Lions away now for Ian Roberts. Roberts 9 metres short of the halfway mark. Des Hasler, 60 seconds to go now. New South Wales holding it by 2. Stewart, Lions, long ball, cut-out pass, picks up Bradley Clyde, goes away from the touchline, tackled on the 32. Lions, inside from Geyer, dropped onto the boot, into the corner, and again Big Hoff is there. Banged into the ground by the New South Wales defence. Penalty goes to Queensland. The New South Wales ball chasers were in front of the kicker. See it again. Only fractionally, but Des Hasler did appear to be in front of the kicker. He's had some marginal rulings to make, David Manson. I don't think too many could argue with them. There's the siren. The end of the first half. And a bit of a punch-up. Players coming in from all over now. And still going. The first half of the second origin for 91. Lewis and O'Connor. Elias and his opposite number. But I think Mark Geyer was in the middle of it at the start. Ricky Stewart. So let's stay with it, see what happens out of this. Manson now. Waving Benny Elias away. So this is what happened. It was Steve Walters, and Geyer went in with a banging left arm, then came down with what appeared an elbow. Andrew G resented it. Geyer and G got into it. And then O'Connor and Lewis, they went on with their private warfare. Then Stewart and Elias, they became involved, engaged in their own confrontations. So we go back to the magistrate. Oh, Geyer and Lewis, they're mouthing off at each other over the top of David Manson's head. Benny Elias standing there like David. Big Mark Geyer towering over him. Manson's not impressed. Lewis again says something to Geyer. They push and shove. Oh, boy. What a spiteful ending to the first 40 minutes. Manson shoulders Lewis away. Staying with it. Here they are coming up the tunnel now. I think Geyer has been ushered up the tunnel, so it's probably been quenched now. Wow, what a fire. A bushfire. Ending the first half of football. Getting back to the football, New South Wales. They go to the break leading by 2 points, 8 points to 6. That's the score in the second State of Origin.
Welcome back to the Sydney Football Stadium. Rain the farmers could use, but not us here at the Sydney Stadium for the second State of Origin match. But high and dry, here is Darryl Eastlake.
Thank you, Kenny. Well, the rain's belting down, but nobody's leaving. What a match. This has been a sensational game of football, no doubt about that. Let's look at the top tacklers in the forwards for Queensland. Larson with 16, G12, Jackson 11 for a total of 69. For New South Wales, 78 their total. Gillespie 13, Roberts 12 and Clyde 11. Bobby Linda down the sideline.
Well, Queensland will be coming on, back on with the same team they left, walked off with in the first half. Mal Meninga's had a few stitches. Gary Larson had a fairly severe head knock, but he seems to have recovered all right, and he will be coming back onto the field at a later stage. Graham Lowe was stressing the fact that he wanted his dummy markers to work a lot harder in defence. As far as attack is concerned, he was very happy with the way it was going. He stressed that the outside backs needed to come in and take a bit of the workload away from the forwards, and also that he's not afraid of letting the ball move around the paddock a little bit, but he's stressed to be very, very careful with the short passing game.
Thank you, Bobby. We'll hear the comments from the Queensland room. Now, Gavin Miller has been into the New South Wales room. Gavin?
Well, thanks, Darryl. There's been a triple body blow to the New South Wales side. Ian Roberts with a vertebrae injury, Wishart with a hamstring injury, and Daly with an ankle injury. All will not return into the second half, which only leaves one interchange player available for the New South Wales side. Overall, Tim Sheens was particularly happy with the first half performance. What he wants the New South Wales team to do in the second half is kick, kick, and more kick.
Thank you, Gavin. Well, a big blow for New South Wales, and credit to the Chewies Blues management too. They're bringing them out in fresh, clean jumpers. Well, Peter Sterling, some major news there.
Yes, very much so. Well, this is going to be the real test of this rich array of talent that we boast about down here. And it's going to be a tough job. Mark McGaw, you see on screen there, Brad Mackay hasn't had a lot of football lately, but they're going to be asked for big efforts in this second half. And if they're going to continue on and save this series, then we have to see plenty of work from these guys injected into the side.
Queensland coming back out now, a little bit of slap and smack just before half-time there. It'll be interesting what happens when Geyer and Lewis come together.
Yeah, I thought it was very disappointing. You don't want to see your high-profile players in those sort of situations. You know, it's just not on. It's no recognition to anybody but your own teammates, and I thought it was a pretty poor showing. It has added some spice, I suppose, to this second half, but I thought we could have done without it.
For New South Wales, McGaw, Mackay and Hasler will be into the side now, and those injuries are, well, they could make a big, big difference to this New South Wales side. Thank goodness the rain has eased, but you can see the water there on the ground. As you look at Mike McLean, the water quite heavy on the ground, but the rain has eased. We were told there was a giant storm over Wollongong. We thought it might miss here till well after the game. Of course, it tumbled down in the first half, but it has eased, but it's still pretty consistent. All set now for the second half. New South Wales holding a 2-point lead, 8-6. David Manson preparing to kick on. Will lead the New South Wales Chewies Blues in fresh jumpers. Credit to the management there, Queensland. Wanting to take the ball. And just remember, Geyer and Lewis, there was a lot said in that altercation. So the ball driven down deep. Straight away, big Meninga. Mal Meninga winds it up, brings it back. Unbelievable conditions here, but the play has been fantastic considering the loose conditions underfoot. And Benny Elias not happy with that, raking the ball away. Peter?
Yes, well, that's a new rule we see in the game at the moment. Anytime the ball is raked from the tackled player, it will be a penalty. Elias didn't like the decision, but it is the new rule.
Well, that's been part of Benny Elias's game for so long.
Well, it has, and you know, of course, we have another great exponent with Alan Langer out there as well. But that's a penalty that the guys know, and I'm sure that we won't see too much of that for the next 39 minutes.
So Queensland now take the tap right on the halfway line as Martin Bella brings it forward. Walters gets it on to Coyne. Coyne wrapped up pretty quickly. Mackay underneath. He's a great defender, Mackay. Clyde over the top. Bit of wrestling on the infield, it doesn't matter. The only dry patches are about 3 metres in from both touchlines. Otherwise, the ground is absolutely saturated. Jackson now plays it back for Walters. Now they're going to run. Queensland can't hold the ball. Bella puts it down. It's quickly picked up by the Blues. So mistakes are coming. If they're going to play running football, Peter, they're really going to shorten those passes up.
Yes, they do, and they also don't want Martin Bella out 2 passes wide. He's got to be taking the first pass and looking for support outside of him. He's got to get close to the action.
Gillespie wrestled down. Meninga over the top. McLean and Coyne. Benny Elias saying let him play it. Now Roach takes the ball. Up he goes, so the big men are starting to make their presence felt. Defence in the first 5 or 10 minutes was unbelievable. Handling error so far, 9-6. Queensland 9, New South Wales 6, which is pretty extraordinary under the conditions. Stewart now kicks, drives the ball deep in the 22. Hoff goes across to pick it up, takes it well. You can see the water just splashing away. It's running ankle deep in places on the ground now. Calling for the ball now is Shearer. Magor in 15, the first tackle for him in this match. McLean. Both sides just trying to settle it down. Jackson winds up. Roach takes him with Elias.
I'm also sure that we'll see both sides trying to slow the ball down on the opposition. You've got to make sure that they don't get any momentum on you, and to do that, they'll be peeling off slowly in the tackles and trying to make it as long as possible between the balls.
Meninga, the barging run, comes back for a clearing kick. Lewis can't take it. Coyne takes the kick. Up it goes, but covered very, very well. There's no problems in taking the ball there. Reddinghausen winds it outside. Jones can't take the pass. Scrambles back for it though. Bella comes over the top. Not a pretty sight. Reddinghausen from dummy half, taken again, working the play to the centre field. As I said, the only dry patches are about 3 metres in from both sidelines. Geyer unloads a nice ball to Lyons. He gets it back to Elias. Stepping run from Elias. Hancock takes him though and wrestles him down Cowboy style. Back for Lyons. Out to Stewart. Stewart under Roach. Roach looks to unbully. Handballs it away. Comes out for O'Connor. O'Connor just stuttering run. Can't go anywhere. Can't get any traction. Stewart kicks again. This time the other way. Hoff, though, covers it pretty well. The ball skidding around. Picks it up safely. The big man winds up. Nice step. Gee whiz, he's elusive, Peter, as he doesn't look like he's travelling so quickly, but he's so hard to get.
Well, he certainly is. The legs on him, he gets them apart, and they're very difficult for the guys coming through to tackle. And he's got good speed as well, a little bit deceptive in that department. Another mistake there from the Queensland side. It's cleaned up. But New South Wales ball, and these are the kind of areas that can lose you this game. Andrew G not happy.
Certainly not happy, Andrew G. Putting it down in that situation. This scrum will pack midway between the 22 and the halfway line. Queensland's into the ground. I remind you of the score. New South Wales, the Tooheys Blues, leading Queensland 8-6. Scrum screwing around. In it goes. Stewart's feed comes out New South Wales way. Lyons now. Lyons with a pass out for O'Connor. O'Connor, a little half gap, gets taken by Shearer though. Jackson in there to help. Mackay makes a nice break there, 4 or 5. Oh, very valuable metres. Elias now picks it up. Momentum now with Clyde. Clyde looks to unload, puts the ball down. Picked up by Geyer. Geyer, look at him, he's just playing with him. Now they belt him down. Promising move there for New South Wales. Now Stewart reverses it. Lyons looks to turn it back to O'Connor, but he can't. McLean gets him, and it goes to Mackay. Mackay gets it back to blocker Roach. He spins around, can't unload. They're inside the danger zone for Queensland, but running out of tackles. Comes back for Stewart. He'll put it in the air. There it goes. A little chip and a kick and a follow. Up they go for it. Loose ball. Try.
Oh, boy.
Try. No.
He's ruled a knock on.
Ruled a knock on. Well. So it's a changeover in that situation. Well, Peter, that was touch and go, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and we said how important the kick was going to be. Put it up in the air. A lot of players going up. We see Paul Hoff climbing high. One of the New South Wales players, may have been Mark McGaw, did get a hand to it. Wasn't cleaned up by Hancock, and both Ricky Stewart and Mark Guy dived on the loose ball. Referee ruled that McGaw did get a touch.
Oh, close thing for Queensland then. Beautiful kick though from Stewart. Look at Meninga just bashing his way through.
Wally Lewis now working the ball away from his own line. Walters. Good run by Walters, but he's undone all that good work by putting it down. Played by Brad Mackay. This is McGaw now. Held by Langer and Shearer. Elias appeals for a penalty. Wide ball for Stewart. Wider for Lyons. Across the paddock. Turns it for O'Connor. This is Gillespie now. Wrestled to the ground by Meninga.
I fear that New South Wales are starting to fall into the trap they did in that first game. We've got to be going forward. We have to take the hard yards up the middle. We have to go forward before we go wide.
Ball played by Hasler. Clyde now. Question marks on whether Bradley Clyde would get the full 80 minutes of State of Origin football. Well, with all the injuries, he's going to have to. Stewart now plugs it into the corner. It stops very quickly, but it's a penalty to Queensland. New South Wales players judged inside the 10 after being in front of the kicker. Mark McGaw, the offender. Queensland have got a player down getting some attention. It's Alfie Langer. Lewis kicks on the first. Ettinghausen's knocked on. Oh, this is a dangerous situation for New South Wales now. Scrum will go down only 7 metres away from the New South Wales line.
Well, they're the tactics. The long kick from the penalty from Wally Lewis, Andrew Ettinghausen. It did spill out. Some good pressure there from Dale Shearer. A scrum feed to Queensland. This is a great opportunity.
Well, still they're pushing and shoving. Queensland getting some replacements ready to come on. Langer to feed it. Manson recalling that scrum. McLean to come off. Langer taken by Stewart. They won the scrum but lost the territory. Hoff. Tempers are fraying. Oh, Jackson's gone in. So it's Coyne. Bella's in there. And the State of Origin has erupted again. Well, they've been pushing and shoving since half-time.
Ray, that all started with an elbow from Geyer. Watch the replay. You'll see an elbow cock from Geyer, and that's what started that.
Yes, the Queensland players certainly did react to Mark Guy coming in. It did look like an elbow from a long distance away. Will be interesting to see if that's exactly what happened, but there was certainly no doubt in the minds of the Queensland players, again led by Wally Lewis.
So there's a Queenslander still on the deck. Let's have a look at it now. Paul Hoff juggled it. Oh, Guy went in with the left elbow in the direction of the head of Paul Hoff. And that's how it started, quite definitely. So, another eruption in this State of Origin. Plenty of people forecast there'd be fire and brimstone. Well, there's been plenty of that. I'm not sure what report Manson got from his touch judges, Meninga about to attempt a penalty from right in front. A chance to equalise with the rain teeming down again. 29 minutes of the game remaining. New South Wales leading 8-6. Meninga's 15 out, just off centre. Taking his time, gets it away, flags are in the air. We're all square here at the football stadium, 8 points all.
Replacements.
And as you come back to the football stadium from the kick-off, Meninga replied with the kick, and Eddinghausen takes it ahead, but he was met by Wally Lewis. A good tackle. Johns now. Lewis is working overtime now. Bobby Linder, 2 replacements I saw go on for Queensland.
Yes, Gary Larson and Steve Jackson have come on for Mike McLean and Paul Hoff.
So the Queensland team shuffled around as Stewart puts it down into the corner, lands in the in goal. Khan is back for it. Hasler on Khan. He's been put over the touch in goal. It's a line dropout. New South Wales will come back with a fresh set of 6.
Great chase there from Desi Hasler. He's on the wing, an unusual position, but he is a great utility player with superb speed. Good kick from Ricky Stewart. We see it just roll over the try line. Des Hasler. Great tackle, takes him over the sideline with a little bit of help from teammate Cliffy Lyons.
Points all as Wally Lewis gets us going. It's landed only about 25 metres out from the line. O'Connor pulled down by Lewis. Lewis has been really fired up by the altercations, and he's made several tackles in the last few moments. Played by Brad Mackay. It's with Gillespie now. They're in the centre of the park. They're about 15 metres out. Roach, pulled down by Coyne around the legs, smothered over the top by Larson. Away for Ricky Stewart, wide ball for Lyons. Little chip kick into the corner, it lollies around, it goes over the touch in goal. So it'll come out to the 22 for the restart.
Yes, it's certainly a difference there with the ball going dead. The Queensland side, all the pressure off now coming out to the 25 metres. Wally Lewis having a word to his teammates. I wouldn't be surprised if he taps the football and kicks it once again.
Well called, P. Sterling. Eddinghausen. Ploughing his way through the torrents out there on the football stadium surface. Lyons. Clyde. Still 5 metres from the halfway line. Geyer, this will be an interesting tackle. Geyer, with a Maroon reception committee waiting for him. Andrew G. Coyne, Peter Jackson. Geyer gets up and chases the marker. Stewart puts the kick in. Dale Shearer. Lyons went in for a shoulder charge. It backfired. Mackay had to make the tackle.
Queensland now back on the attack through Willie Khan. Well, certainly every time Geyer touches the ball, there's going to be plenty of attention to him, and Lewis is directing traffic every time he gets it too, believe you me. But Queensland now trying to work their way out. That rain has eased again, thank goodness. Sea of mud out there, but only green grass around the fringes. Back it comes for the kick for Jackson. He can't do it. Shearer's back at fullback now. He gets it away.
Certainly not a sea of love.
No doubt about that. Eddinghausen with a good run. Brings play back toward the halfway line. In fact, they've tackled him right on the halfway line. So the Blues a chance now to go forward into Queensland's territory. But look at this defence, still pushing and shoving. Elias dummy half, flicks one out for Stewart. Stewart, I don't know if he really expected that. He sort of stuttered and then started. Larson, Coyne, lots of tackling. Roach, Larson, 21 tackles so far. Queensland 24 minutes, New South Wales 21 minutes. That's time in possession. Stewart now kicks, splits them two. The in-goal area bouncing around, but just too big, and only just too big.
There's some plenty of kicking, as Bobby Linder pointed out, coming out of the sheds from the Queensland side. Also from New South Wales, Ricky Stewart, something like 18 kicks so far, and that will continue. That they're just going to play good field position and hope that the opposition make a mistake, and it may only make one mistake to make the difference in this game.
Yeah, the tackles for you. Queensland 101, New South Wales 96. Bella goes hard and straight. Good bustling, barging run from Bella. Waller's in a dummy half. Again, they come forward, this time through Jackson, Steve Jackson. Just going 1 and 2 out at the moment.
He's the danger man, Steve Waller. It's a very astute dummy half runner. I think things will open up around that dummy half area. He's just the man to capitalise.
Coyne kicking again. Well, Coyne's kicked a bit in this match. Pete?
Well, he has kicked, yeah. I said that he wasn't one of the kickers I was looking for, but he does have a good left boot on him, and they are using him as one of the options.
4 times he's kicked so far. Back it comes to Mackay. Mackay trying to work play back to the halfway line. So the New South Wales side got the options to go either way. Benny Elias straightens up the attack. That's the halfway line you can see. Stewart turns it back for Clyde. Only makes a couple though. The defence still pretty hard. Chrissy Johns getting back up again. Geyer unloads. This time to Mackay. Mackay works play midway between the half and the quarter line now. Queensland's into the ground. Stewart, little chip. Can't be taken though. Not by the Blues. Walters takes it pretty well. Metres gained, an average of 6 tackles. Queensland 18 metres, New South Wales 39 metres.
That doesn't tandem with the scoreboard, does it?
Sure doesn't.
Substantial lead there to the New South Wales team. It really doesn't make any difference now. It's 8-all, and whoever can, I think, score the next points will just about win this game.
Langer gets one out from Meninga. Meninga winds up the big man now, tries to get away, but he can't do it. The ball goes loose. Libby Lyons dives on it though. So, well, a big run from Meninga, but this ball, you've got to treasure it in these sort of conditions. It's going to pop out so easily. Mackay dummy half. Gets rustled down again, this time by Langer. Des Hasler, he goes from a gallop from there, makes another 4 or 5, and back they come to the halfway line. So they seem to be getting back there pretty quickly, Peter, on easy ground up the middle now, as you suggested.
Well, that's where this game has to be won. You have to get some forward momentum going. Ben Elias getting out from dummy half, but of course we have the wingers and the centres coming in, taking a little bit of pressure off their forwards, and they have to do that.
8-all, New South Wales, Queensland, game 2. A game New South Wales must win to keep this series alive. They've got to win this one. Hancock straightens up now. Hancock gets through one, gets through two. He always gets through the first tackle. Cartwright ready to come on for New South Wales in jumper number 17, but this time it's Shearer. He goes up the centre, works play midway between the quarter and the halfway line. Wallace will play it back. Back it comes for Jackson. Jackson tries to get some traction down the centre. Takes play almost to the halfway line. Away they go. Wallace with a little scampering one, but there was no one there to feed off him. He couldn't get it away, so he just took the tackle. G at dummy half, comes out to Lewis. Lewis has got Jackson inside, flings one back, taken by G. Turns around, plenty of blood coming out of G's nose too. Coming back for Willie Carr. Willie Carr splits him up the centre, inside the 22. Queensland with a chance. Watch for the bomb. Langer, little chip and chase. Will they get it?
6 again.
Restart. More pressure from Queensland. Big chance here if they can play it quickly. And it comes now Coyne wrestle, can't get anything from there though. Ricky Stewart over the top, Clyde underneath. They come wide to Jackson. Jackson flicks one out for G. G stamping around now. He gets a pop from Meninga. Oh, Meninga almost unstoppable from there, but they get him. Eddinghausen underneath. Fantastic pressure from Queensland and great defence from New South Wales. Ball's gone loose. What's the referee said here?
A mistake by Steve Walters. It will be a New South Wales feed, and that's a very, very fortunate time for New South Wales to come up with a mistake in their favour.
Oh, New South Wales off the rack then, no doubt about that. Under enormous pressure with a capital P then. Scrum to pack down, 10 metres out. Blues feed. Stewart clears it out for Lions. Lions winds up, but the defence comes and belts him down. Queensland with a big chance there though. Mistake from Walters. So easy in these conditions. Steve Jackson over the top. O'Connor plays it back from Mackay. Mackay with a scampering run. They line him up though and belt him down. Still only 11 metres out from the line, the Tooheys Blues. McGaw. Elias, Benny Elias gets away from one, shows it, but oh, just slides over the touchline, puts the head down in disgust.
Benny knows he should have kicked that football. He thought about it, he's shaped to do it. It's been taken over, and Queensland now have a feed only 30 metres out from the New South Wales line.
Yeah, he did. Langer fires one out for Larson. Larson taken pretty quickly though by Bradley Clyde. Cartwright in there also now. His first tackle of the match comes out to Mal Meninga. Went so close. Meninga barging, pushing, shoving, everything he can to stay inside now. That 22 inside deep. Here comes Bella on the charge. Bella winds up and they take him pretty well. Cartwright underneath. Clyde over the top. Walters now gets it out to Langer. Langer shapes. Can't pass though. They were too far away, so he held onto the ball as best he could. Stewart underneath, fifth tackle for Queensland. They flick it away for Lewis. Lewis watch for a long pass, gets it on. Lewis comes back and he puts it down. They regain it though through Hancock. Well, stuttering play, but Lewis was prepared to run and look for the long pass that time, Peter.
Yes, and it looked a little bit dangerous, but the New South Wales defence were up to it, came up with a very good tackle. As Andrew G bleeding quite a bit from the nose there. Another opportunity for Queensland, but New South Wales hold on.
Oh, the defence has been sensational, hasn't it?
Well, from both sides. It's a war of attrition out there. And here's a penalty which will relieve some more pressure for New South Wales. With only 16, or just over 16 minutes left on the clock. New South Wales have to get to the other end. Queensland have dominated the positional play in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, we remind you of the score, 8 points apiece, and of course New South Wales must win it to keep this series alive. Bella. Cartwright. Too much defence though, but they've almost back to the halfway line. They're about 4 or 5 metres short. Roach looking for the ball, but Elias takes it. Takes the tackle of Coyne. Lions has Roach in support again. Throws a loose one. Queensland in possession through Steve Jackson. Rabbits, they've got it back.
They certainly have, and here they come again, the Maroons. 15 metres into the Tooheys blue area. Bella. 32 metres from the line. Obviously, it's a great time for a field goal, but in these conditions, there'll be no surety about that. Lewis out from Meninga now. Taken beautifully by Michael O'Connor. Mackay over the top. Shearer puts the kick in. Eddinghausen fields the ball on his own line. Shearer on Eddinghausen. Clyde. Well, he's answered all. Oh, jumping tackle. Larson comes away with it for Queensland. Larson put down 5 metres out. The ball has gone loose. And he's ruled a knock on against Queensland.
Queensland is certainly not happy with that decision. Gary Larson up, shaking his head. A super tackle there from Steve Jackson. Well, Brad Clyde forced the ball out, only 10 metres. Gary Larson came up with the football. Referees ruled that he lost it in the tackle.
One against the feed. Langer, 10 metres out from the New South Wales line. New South Wales turning back, enormous pressure at the moment, but for how long can they? Blindside for Langer. Lewis gets the pass away. There's the try for Dale Shearer. Shearer scores for Queensland. Dale Shearer scores his 11th State of Origin try. Standing by, the referee has already ruled the try. He's marked the spot with the touch judge. Wally Lewis on the ground. The try has been awarded to Dale Shearer. Well, they stacked the line side with their superstars. Firstly Langer, then Lewis, and then Dale Shearer. What a replacement to bring on in State of Origin football.
Yes, and New South Wales were always short on this side of the field. It was just quick hands. Langer out to Lewis. He gets taken high by, again, Mark Dyer. And Dale Shearer ran straight into the hole. But again, it's only been because they've been able to have good field position and maintain a little bit of possession down here on the New South Wales line. Simple hands leads to the try. May well be the match winner with only 12 minutes left on the clock.
That all came from a scrum that was won against the feed, and New South Wales were not able to organise their defensive line quickly enough, with most rugby league sides quite obviously believing you go into a scrum, you come out with possession. But that one against the feed, won by Queensland. I nearly said Steve Walters, but it was a tremendous performance by the entire Queensland front row, and they got a big push. Wally Lewis. Meninga now, 23 metres out. 5 in from touch. 12-8 in favour of Queensland. Hits it nicely, but he's hooked it. No goal. Queensland leading 12 points to 8 with 12 minutes to go. And welcome back to the stadium with the reply to the kickoff from Dale Shearer, the try scorer. Ettinghausen around Lewis, taken by Larson. Larson right there making his 25th tackle for the match. Brad Mackay to play it. New South Wales in need of a miracle now. Guy near the halfway line. Cartwright. O'Connor fading from left to right. 5th tackle now. The corner. Here's Stewart. He puts it high. Khan getting underneath it. Hancock, in fact. Hancock met in the centre of the ground by Elias and Cartwright. Walters. Jackson. Centre Peter Jackson coming in to take a first receiver and the header. Langer. Shearer's put it down, and with the ball is Mark McGaw for New South Wales.
Benny Elias now scampers away from that area. Bradley Clyde winds up. Play situated midway between the half and the quarter. Queensland's into the ground. Stewart Gets it onto Roach. Roach powers his way up the centre. 27 metres out. Hasler. That's the 22 you can see. Just see. Now he's on it. Elias. Cartwright. 12-8 the score. Queensland in front. They desperately need to score here. Stewart puts it in the air. Plenty of chasers coming through. Up they go. Beautifully taken though. Oh dear me, he took that so well. Hurt himself in the process.
Dale Shearer climbed very nicely there. Plenty of pressure coming through on Mark Geyer. Shearer came up with the football. Nice take here. Never took his eyes off the ball. Queensland will now work it away from their line.
Showed a lot of courage, Peter, didn't he?
Well, Queensland have all night, and they're in front on the scoreboard. They'll work it out now. Won't be long before they kick the football. They're just playing this game very, very nicely at the moment.
Gavin Allen in 16 on for Queensland. You saw there.
So is Kevin Wallace, Daryl.
Kevin Wallace just playing the ball there. So the two fresh players out, and they're not hard to pick. And the cleanest jumpers on the ground. Back it comes for Jackson. Jackson now clearing kick. Drives the ball over the halfway line though. Slips through Eddinghausen's feet. Picks it up okay. Brings it back over the halfway line back into Queensland territory. A long way up though and points short. 12-8 the scoreline. Hasler now. Scampering little run but Coyne takes him. Benny Elias. We get it on to McGaw. McGaw gets out of one, goes for a scamper again. Big strong run from McGaw, but loses the ball again. Wallace dives on it. So again, New South Wales squander possession the Queensland half. Shearer, okay from the knock. He got taking that ball. Down he goes. Handling errors now. Queensland 17, New South Wales 12. Lewis clears the ball away deep into New South Wales territory. In fact, midway between the half and the quarter. Eddinghausen picks it up from there. Heads back to the halfway line. Still going, Eddinghausen with a great run. Oh, good run. Gavin Miller, well, they're running out of time. They've got to get camped up here and do something.
Well, there's no doubt that they certainly need field position. The only thing about the New South Wales performance is that they've been their own worst enemy. Their mark of defence has been very slack in this second half, and they haven't controlled the ball, and their discipline has been very poor.
Comments from Gavin Miller, a man who captained the Blues. Another loose ball, so another scrum.
And another example of exactly what Gavin Miller was talking about, a spilt ball there from Ricky Stewart, only third tackle. Only 6 minutes left on the clock now, so they are running out of time, and we just cannot afford to cough up the ball on the third tackle in the opposition's territory.
Okay, scrum the pack, Langer to feed. Queensland ball. Shearer, he's been busy since he come on, Peter, hasn't he?
He has been busy, and he's played very well for the Queensland side. But if viewers want to see why Wally Lewis is a champion at this game that we play, if you have a look at him in these last 6 minutes, the way he marshals his troops, the kicking game that he comes up with especially, but the way that they'll keep a cool head under his leadership, that's why he's the #1 player in the game.
So we find 6 minutes of the State of Origin remaining, with Queensland leading by 12 points to 8. Conditions not conducive to anything really, but certainly not conducive to catch-up football. And that's what New South Wales are playing at the moment. They've got to try and squeeze the pass. They've got to take chances, and there's nothing going for them in that area. Geyer wrestled to the ground. Not by coincidence by Wally Lewis. Roach. He's had a stronger game tonight, big blocker. Long ball for Cartwright. Good pass out the back for Elias. Now it's Stewart. This is Geyer. Oh, throws the pass that probably he maybe shouldn't have thrown, but it's come out all right. It came off a Queensland hand. Back to New South Wales. 6 more tackles. This is Johns now. 12 points to 8. We're inside the last 5. Gillespie. Back for Roach. Roach on McLean. Langer rides him into the ground. Now, Cartwright takes it ahead off a quick play, the ball. Oh, what a great pass by Cartwright for Clyde. sensational pass.
Yes, he certainly made a difference, John Cartwright, since he's come into the game. Just with that great skill he has in the ball-playing department, he's been able to put on something a little bit special there. New South Wales have been able to finish the movement out wide, and we see Michael O'Connor in a very similar situation as we saw him in the first game, with a conversion from the sideline to tie things up here.
Well, John Cartwright.
I'm sorry, to win the game now.
12 points all. It was all before this that Bradley Clyde came off a Cartwright pass, but that long pass to Sparkles McGaw, the only thing sparkling at the football stadium was Sparkles McGaw. Watch this pass from Ricky Stewart. It is an absolute gem of a pass. Yes. And McGaw said, I'm big and I'm strong, and he took them on. Got it down. In fact, almost dragged across the line by a Maroon player.
Yes, a great ball from Ricky Stewart, and I'm sure that he must have had visions of England running through his mind there. It was a pass to nothing. We did see one intercepted during the Kangaroo tour, but that one was perfect. Straight into the arse of Mark McGaw. He took over 3 defenders with him. He's now given the New South Wales side an opportunity to win the game, courtesy of the boot of Michael O'Connor.
2 from 3 for Michael O'Connor. He's 3 metres in. He's 20 metres out. Gets it away nicely.
He's kicked it. He's kicked it.
He's got it. Well kick. Michael O'Connor has won the second state of origin for New South Wales.
No, don't say that, Ray. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. But New South Wales now lead 14 points to 12, and the series is alive.
So, we come back to a mistake from the restart by the Blues. Queensland win the scrum, and the long ball from Alan Langer, taken by Jacko. Peter Jackson, he's tackled. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Langer works the blind side for Hancock. Hancock away from one. Takes a couple of paces on the same blade of grass. He's tackled 24 metres out. Walters inside for Lewis. Lewis smothered in the defence there by Elias and Mackay. 1.5 minutes to go. The Blues need to weather this set of 6. Langer kicks tantalisingly. It's cleaned up in goal. Cleaned up by Des Hasler. But it's a line drop out. They'll soak up time. They'll soak up time, the Blues. And then the Maroons will come back with the last throw of the dice.
Great courage there from Desi Hasler. Gets to the ball first. Plenty of pressure coming through from Willie Kahn. But he's had a fine game in an unusual position, has Des Hasler.
What a sensational game here before a packed house. 50 seconds to go. Mal Meninga comes back. Pulled down around the bootlaces by O'Connor. Now it's McLean. The Blues lifting themselves now. They know they've got it won. They've got to weather this set of 6. Lewis, quick passing. Walters to Shearer. Turned inside. The Blues have got the ball. David Gillespie. Gillespie falls on it. 20 seconds to go. Bradley Clyde. They'll just take dummy half runs now. Stewart soaking it up. They're about to soak up the elation of winning the second state of origin. Squaring the series. It's all over. The Blues are victorious at the Sydney Football Stadium. 14 points to 12. Mark McGaw and Michael O'Connor. Cartwright and Stewart made it possible for McGaw, and then Michael O'Connor, the biggest point scorer for New South Wales in origin football, in absolutely quagmirish conditions, from 20 metres out, 3 metres in from touch, booted the Blues to a victory, and so the series is level. Cliffy Lyons beaming a smile out from below that face covered in mud and slush. Well, what a game.
He hits it, he's got it! He's got the